to the UK stood at 3.7 billion shillings. That was in 1988. And many years later, 2017, the trade numbers have tilted upwards to 3.85 billion. Well, if you juxtapose this against what China is doing with Kenya, it's quite a big two worlds apart, actually. Well, 1998, trade between Kenya and China stood at 52.6 million. And in 2017, China nearly had over quadrupled this to 9.9 billion shillings. Well, so if you could compare the two, you realize that China is playing a bigger role when it comes to trade in Kenya. And of course, the UK, the United States of America, all of them trying to catch up. Well, let's take a look at the imports from the United Kingdom. In 1988, the imports stood at 6.67 billion. And in 2017, the imports were at 30 billion. Quite a big balance of trade there. Imports from China stood at 394 million, whereas in 2017, it was at 390 billion worth of imports. Well, finally, so far, the major areas that have emerged from the meeting between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Theresa May are around foreign policy, trade and investment, tourism, as well as military support. Well, we want now to engage analyst, and that is Ali Khan Sachu. Will be joining us via Skype from Nairobi. Many thanks, Ali Khan. Of course, a big day for the Kenya government as well as the United Kingdom, where we are seeing a second attempt by UK, as she has been labeled, actually, Theresa May, the second Iron Lady after Margaret Thatcher. Of course, what really should we expect in the coming days after this? Of course, they've just given us a sneak peek, saying that we will be increasing support towards security and, of course, issues around imports when it comes to the duty-free imports. Ali?
So, look, I think it's a very important visit. It's a shame it's taken more than 30 years for this visit to happen after Mrs. Thatcher visited. But clearly, from the body language, the welcome that the Prime Minister received from the President, you could see this was extremely positive. I think, the UK is looking to reinvigorate the Commonwealth economy, and we're part of that Commonwealth economy. Whilst, Africa represents a small portion of the UK's trade, I think there's plenty of room for growth. And something that those numbers in your comparison that you were showing don't appreciate is that the UK has been in Africa for many years. There are businesses here like Safaricom and Diageo and East African breweries, which speak to a very deep economic relationship that sometimes doesn't show up in those numbers that you were showing.
Well, Ali Khan, just hold your thoughts. I also have on the line Lydia Clare, who is an expatriate from the United Kingdom. And of course, Lydia, a big day indeed for the United Kingdom. But really, a lot happening when it comes to the United Kingdom trying to stamp its authority when it comes to improving trade relations between the two countries. From where you sit, how big a visit is this for the people of the United Kingdom?
Hello there, good afternoon. Thank you for having me. My initial thoughts are that actually this isn't so much as the UK stamping its authority in any way, shape or form. The UK have had a very close relationship with Kenya and the other countries that Theresa May has visited on her Africa trip as part of the Commonwealth as well, which, as you know, we've been part of since 1965. And that has enabled us to enjoy a very strong and secure relationship which is upheld by trade agreements that have been very, very beneficial to all parties. So I think it's a little bit long in coming. I think it's a shame that it's taken such a long time for her to come and visit us here. But I think that's understandable with the amount that's on her plate at the moment, what with Brexit and the general discourse that's happening around the world at the moment.
And Lydia, still staying with you, of course, Theresa May has been facing some challenges back home, where we did see the Brexit Secretary, Rob Davies, actually did step down from office. And right now, of course, there's some changes in the UK Parliament. But really, what is the state of affairs back home?
Well, as you know, I'm based here in Nairobi, so it's been a while since I've been back in London.
Okay, Lydia. Let's take it back to Ali Khan. So, Ali Khan, now that we know so far that they have shown some commitment towards increasing the trade between the two countries, what is in it for Kenya right now, where we are seeing it's a Brexit, where we are seeing the United Kingdom will be exiting from the European Union officially in 2019, and this is expected to have some serious ramifications on trade volumes between the two countries.
Look, I'm not as pessimistic as some economists are about what is going to happen to our trade post-Brexit. I think what's interesting for me is that there's a clear commitment by Britain here to work with Kenya. We've got a long, deep relationship that goes back over 100 years. If you go back to the Lunatic Express, I think they have a lot of ground level knowledge about our economy. We have a lot of knowledge about theirs. And I think there's an opportunity for all of us to really concentrate and see where the wins are. I think we're looking more at in portfolio flows. We're looking more at investments into the industrialization component of the Big Four and things like that. But I'm optimistic. I think this is an important message. I think the body language was strong. I liked what I saw. And really, ultimately, we do well when we sort of work with all our stakeholders, and they remain one of the most important international stakeholders that I can think of. So overall, positive. I'm confident this relationship has got plenty of gas, and that we're going to accelerate it from here.
Right. Many thanks, Ali. Well, let's drive the conversation forward for now. We'll be coming back to you later.